Good evening, all. Thank you very much for coming over. Hope everybody's well. As you know, it's special guest Earworm night, and we have our special guest in the background. So let's bring him in. This one here. So there we go. We have Terry Smart of Chestnut Products. Thank you very much, Terry, for coming and joining us and agreeing to be our special guest Earworm for tonight.
Very well.
And we have old faithful Brian. Thank you, Brian, for coming and joining us.
Hey, less of the old. Okay, less of the old.
So, as I said in my Facebook and Instagram thing, if you've got any questions about any Chestnut products, finishing, colouring, whatever, then obviously tonight's the night to ask Terry, and I'm sure Terry will be obliged, or not obliged, but he'll be quite willing to help people out where they can. It's always good to hear from the horse's mouth, and obviously Terry is the man of the company, so he will know everything about each one of his products. But you can always test him just in case.
Yeah, did you just call me a horse?
Hey, horse?
Yeah, basically, he did. Yeah, he did that. I heard that.
Oh, dear.
I'll let you get away with that one.
Horse. Anyway, right. So tonight, what am I turning? I am turning. I was at my local woodturning club on Wednesday night, and there was a bowl there that sort of intrigued me a little bit. Very basic looking bowl, but it had some nice texture on the side of it, and it had some colouring in it as well. And I thought, since Terry's there, we better use some colours, really, haven't we? So,
it'd be a good plan.
So what
it's not obligatory, but yeah, it's always good to see a bit of
colour.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the lab. I've got a piece of pear wood. It's going to be end grain, so it might be a bit tough to turn on the inside, but we're going to try our best. I'm sure the Simon Hope tools will soon get all out. And then we're going to get a basic shape, and we're going to be using the large Robert Sorby texturing tool. I haven't used it for a while, but the guy used that, and it gave some nice deep gouges in the side. So that's what I'm going to go at. So I'm going to go to the lathe, and then I believe Brian is going to read out the chat.
I think I am, yeah. I think I might.
Good man, good man. Yeah, that's the gentleman who wants to know how to do a mortar. So I'll rough this off, and then I'll show you, Gavin. Hang on, what's... Oh, it is working. It's saying it is.
We probably haven't got anything interesting to say anyway.
I have to do that all again now.
Every time I do an update on Windows, does I get a problem? Right, can you hear him now?
Right.
Speak, Brian.
Can you hear me now, guys? Just somebody stick in the chat if you can hear me.
So we have to wait 15 seconds for everyone to catch up.
Yeah,
just
about.
yeah,
It's
we'll talk among ourselves for a minute or two. Have you had a nice day, Brian?
I have a lovely day. Yeah. Plus the fact it's cold here, would you believe?
Really?
The worms are back, according to Doug Miller. So let me go back to the participants list for just one more as you go at this and say, welcome in everybody who is on the participants list. So we've AGK Woodworks, Barry's Woodwork Creations, Bruce Watt, Christine and Michael Heseltine, Dave Oatley, Door 60, Doug Miller from Woodspun Red, Fly Coast Woodturning, Gavin Doherty, Gerard the French Turner, Hans Goran Ackers, I think that is. I Want to Make Stuff, Jennifer's Crafts and Creations, Malcolm Douglas, Paul Findlay, Woodturning at Home. Hi, Paul. He's from Northern Ireland as well. Paul Houghton and Grisby Turner, Heather from Spirit Wind, Woodstone and Bone, Susie the Swiss Woodturner, Terry Bartlett, Todd at Glencove Woodworks, Wee Val from Tickle Turnings, Wavy Woodshed, and the Woodwork Learner. That's everybody who's on the participants list, but there's a whole lot more than that in the chat because we have now got 64 people watching. So once I get into the chat, if I've missed you out, guys, we'll try and catch up and give us a shout out. Welcome along, Terry.
That was a good job there, Brian. You did that very well. So, yeah, it does move through very quickly. So, well done.
It does.
I'm trying to watch it at the same time as listening to you. It's actually it's far harder than you think. Got someone in from Sweden. Hello there. I was in Sweden last weekend. Swedendro, their stockist over there, had a fantastic weekend. So I'm not sure if you were there, Hans Goran. If you're there, let us know in the chat. But yeah, lovely place. Really enjoyed ourselves over there. I was with Stuart Farini. He'd come over to do some demonstrating with us, and we also teamed up with Colvin and Jim from Axminster. So we had a pretty fun time. It was a great weekend, and
cool,
wonderful hosts over there. Really looked after us.
So apparently I've got Mr. Dave Oatey's name wrong again. I will call him Dave Oatley for some reason, and it's Dave Oatey. Sorry, Dave. I do it every week. Can't help it.
He does it on purpose, Dave. He tells us he's going to do
it. Me? On purpose? I don't believe that.
He did mention that earlier on, but I didn't really understand what you were referring to. Now I get it.
Right.
So yeah, lots of names there I know from our Conkers Lives and the quizzes. So nice to see you all out there. Thanks for coming along and joining in what we're doing tonight. It should be fun, I think.
We all kind of share the same crowd. It all seems to be the same sort of people, and we have a few maybe. But...
Yeah. Jennifer's Crafting Creations asking how Chestnut got started. There's a long version and a short version. I'll tell you the shorter version, which was that I was working for a company manufacturing paints and coverings and varnishes, lacquers, waxes, the whole lot. I've been working there for about 8 years in the end. It was really good fun and really good grounding. They were very heavy on the training. They believed in investing in the staff a lot. So I always say that in the world of what is now called surface coatings, I've done pretty much every job involved in that, from sweeping the floor, doing the receptionist job, when she was on holiday, because I used to love playing with the switchboard. Working in quality control, working formulations, working in the lab, working in manufacturing, marketing, sales, dispatch, everything. So I've done pretty much every job in it. So I worked there for 8 years, learnt the trade really well, and I had this idea that they were very much trade orientated, and I had this idea that there was a market, there's a gap for the products that we now sell in the retail market. Wasn't something they were interested in doing. They had a very good standing in the industrial market. So I branched off on my own. Chestnut Products was formed, and the rest is, well, history isn't quite the right word, but that's where I am now. So 30 years later, still there, still cracking away, and still doing the same products, but with a much more expanded range now. So yeah, that's a brief potted history, Chestnut Products.
Wow.
And I have to say, good products there too.
They are.
Thank you
very
very
good.
much.
So Roy the Boy says, question, Terry. He says, I bought a starter pack from Spirit Stains from Makers. He said he tried it on the pen, but he wasn't really happy with it. So what's the best way of applying it?
So that's what aren't you happy about with it is the question. So there are lots. The stains can be applied pretty much anyhow you want to, from using a cloth or a brush or an airbrush, or even just dipping the timber, the wood, into the stain. That will work as well. A bit messy, but it does the job. And we do have people do that where they're working with thin veneers and they want to penetrate all the way through. You can just leave the veneer in a pot of stain, and it will soak all the way through. Can take 2 or 3 weeks depending on the thickness of the veneer. So why weren't you happy with how the stain works? I'm trying to keep an eye on the questions. There's lots going through here. So Brian, I'm going to have to rely on you a lot here.
It's okay. I'm watching the questions. You keep
Right.
answering the questions, and I'll try and find them.
Just quickly before we get any further, right? For Gavin, mortise in the bottom. So
Okay.
obviously SC4 is 52 mil. So first thing is I use a parting tool just to put an outer ring in there. Now you can go anywhere from 2 mil to 5 mil. I normally do about 2.5, 3 mil deep. So the choices are now you can either use a bowl gouge or a spindle gouge to just clean that out. I normally use a spindle gouge to clean most of that out. And then I normally use just a flat scraper or a skew just to clean that out. And what you want to be doing is, let's put it on a back camera. What you want to be doing is you want to be going slightly in at an angle with the way your skew is to put a little bit of an internal dovetail in there, just so it allows your jaws on your chuck to gently grab into there to create a little rebate in there to hold them a bit better. Then you should not have any problems. So as easy as that, mate. So I hope it helps.
There we go. Good explanation. I have a question for Terry from Miss T. Do I need the thin iridescent paint for airbrushing?
That'll depend very much. Hello, Miss T. Nice to see you at Makers the other week. And it'll depend on the tip and setup that you're using. Generally speaking, yes. They're quite thin, so you might find they'll spray without, but you might need to thin them 5 to 10% using the reducer, and they will spray beautifully. There should be no problem. And a quick hello to hola to Brian El Tornero de Madero. Muchas gracias. I'm glad you're liking the products and glad you're able to get them. We work with Tony Fuster over in Mallorca. Brilliant people. So glad you're getting hold of the products, mate. Thank you.
So that's Brian with a Y.
Yeah.
That's what he's known as in the chat, Brian with a Y.
Oh, Brian with a Y. Okay. Hey, I'm a newbie here. I'm just...
yeah, it's okay. I'll keep you right there. It's fine.
I was just showing off I can speak a bit of Spanish. What
Yeah,
made me
that's why I don't say it, because I can.
Yeah, I keep practicing my Spanish. I'm angling for a visit. We've got a customer over in Mallorca who are wonderful people, actually, Javier, and I keep angling for an invite. I'll get one day. Why did I give the name Chestnut Products? It was suggested to me. And it fitted with what we were doing. I had another idea, which I'm glad I didn't go with in the end, and so Chestnut Products it became. But yeah, someone else in the family came up with the name for me.
So it's a good name. It kind of trips right off the tongue. Chestnut Products.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yes.
The only annoying thing was that 6 months afterwards, after I started, had everything printed, all the stationery and everything else, I'm driving down the A2 in southeast London, and this lorry goes past me with Chestnut Products Limited written all over it, and there is another Chestnut Products. Despite all the searching and all the checking that I tried to do, and this is pre-internet days, really, I just couldn't find it. I thought, well, I'll just check there isn't one already, and of course there is. But they're really nice people. We get on great. They get our emails. We get their emails sometimes. And we have a great relationship and we always pass them on. So I'm pleased to say there's no animosity or problems there.
So Pete from Twisted Trees says he's late, Steve.
Oh, you're all right.
He wants to know what you're cutting tonight.
It's a piece of pear, and I'm making a pot thing. It's like a miniature bowl, I suppose. I'm going to try anyway. But I was inspired by a piece I saw at the Turning Club on Wednesday night. Oops.
Terry, I'm not sure if you understand that question from I Want to Make Stuff there, but
yeah, what can you use to stop use a sanding sealer to protect wood prior to pouring epoxy in? So epoxy is not really my strong point, but I would say the sanding sealer would make a difference. So it should bind. We have people use them together with no problems whatsoever, and it should form a barrier. Now, whether it's going to stop it completely, I can't guarantee, and a lot of that's probably going to depend on the timber. But I would certainly hope, and I would certainly expect it to make a difference. Just can't say if it's going to be 100% or not. The cellulose sanding sealer would be the one to go for, though. That's pretty much universal. You can use most things with it. The shellac or the acrylic sanding sealer would probably not stand up to the epoxy. So cellulose sanding sealer all the way.
I use cellulose sanding sealer to do a barrier between the wood and the epoxy resin. The reason being, if you don't, you get air bubbles in your epoxy because it draws the air out. The sanding sealer stops the air coming through.
Right, there you go. From the other horse's mouth.
Yeah. Did you just call me a horse, Terry?
Did you notice?
Sounded very much like it, Steve.
Yeah, I want to make stuff. Yeah, let us know. Jump on the website, and the contact page is on there, and that'd be brilliant. Can you use chestnut melamine lacquer over embellishing wax? I don't know. Don't make embellishing wax. If you're referring to the rainbow stain, probably no, I wouldn't. Not good practice. The acrylics will go over our rainbow wax because they're water-based, but I wouldn't put a melamine over it. It's just not going to be a happy combination.
And Gavin Doherty says, thanks for the mortise explanation, Steve.
So I hope it helps.
He said he wasn't able to type before because he was driving.
Driving and
I hope he was just listening rather than watching a YouTube video while he was driving.
Hope so. Can you imagine going to an RTA and there's me playing in the background? That would not be a good thing, would it? That would do the channel no good at all.
Malcolm, thanks for that. Yeah, the acrylic sanding sealer and the gloss lacquer, they're great for segmented work as well because you're obviously not brushing. It's the same with using the stains. When you're applying, there's no brushing contact. You're not dragging the colour of the segmented timber across into each other. So yeah, brilliant for that.
Right, so that's the shape I want. I'm going to leave that little bit of bark in there because I like the look of that.
Oh, natural's always good.
Got a chip out there. I just need to take that foot down a little tiny bit, I think.
Don't think I said hello to Malcolm Douglas, did I? Can't remember if I did. Good evening, Malcolm, if I didn't.
Good evening, Malcolm.
Mr. G's Woodturning is in.
Good evening, Mr. G. How are you?
Gavin says, "Had one eye on Steve and one eye on the road." Please don't do that, Gavin.
No, please. I'm more important. Put both eyes on. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, park up and watch the video. Woodwork Learner has a question for you there, Terry.
Okay. Do you know?
He's been a bit cheeky there.
Yeah. Send it. Yeah, care of Rustins, and they'll pass it on. Simon, you know your project. Do you turn? I don't turn. No, I make no secret of the fact that I'm not a turner. So I give all the products out to other people to try out. I have a panel of people that we use. Some of them are really pernickety. In fact, most of them are pernickety, quite honestly. So I know who's going to be most pernickety with different types of products. So yeah, we do have them. There's a lot of testing going on, but not by me. And I'd be biased anyway, so I'd probably be the wrong person to have a go at it. So yeah, but they are all tested first.
My elocution's been tested again, so it's Gavin Doughty, not Dory. Sorry, Gavin. That's twice tonight. I've been told up for getting somebody's surname wrong. I'm just going to stop using surnames. I don't know what you can all do.
Right, let's get this sanded up.
And Ash at Katie Shed is in. Good
Hi,
evening.
Ash. Hi, Ash.
Yeah, people having strange with surnames, really. Asked about the stains because some of it run and was lighter in parts.
Yeah, that was right away, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to application, really. So, yeah, the best way of applying it, if you're, particularly on large areas, is to put slightly too much on, almost to the point that you are getting runs in it, but then take a clean cloth and wipe it off, and then that will give you a nice even effect. So that's the that's the best way of doing that.
That'll also depend on the timber as well, because if you've got hard bits of grain and soft bits of grain, the soft bits of grain will be darker than the harder bits of grain because it'll soak in further.
Yeah. Susie, the Swiss Woodturner, is asking you, Terry, are you working on developing any new products at the moment?
We're always working on new ideas and looking for new ideas as well. There are a few things that come up that people say, "Oh, I wish you could make this," or "Wish this was around." And so, we always listen to what people say. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. I'm always reluctant to talk about new products because every time I've ever done that in the past, it always goes wrong, and then the product doesn't come to fruition, or we just end up having to change everything, and it's not the product that we were looking to do. Sometimes the price point is just wrong. We come up with a product, but we can't make it for a price that we think is right. So we have to drop them for that reason. So yeah, we are always looking at different ideas, always looking for new ideas, but kind of reluctant to mention them. Because there's one in particular that we've been working on for about 18 months now, and we can't get it to go right. And it's not some of what's not happening with it is that it's just not within our control. So yeah, I'm going to keep quiet about them.
So Nigel is suggesting, regarding the earlier question about the pen turner and staining, could this be a problem that sanding is too fine so that the stain doesn't penetrate that much?
That's a good point. If you do sand, particularly on small areas, and it's too fine, then it closes the fibres of the wood, and that stops. That will deter the stain from penetrating properly. So yeah, that could be an issue there, but kind of need a little bit more information about how the stain was being applied on the pen, preparation work beforehand, what was used on it beforehand, and stuff like that. So I happily try and work that one out with you, Roy. I just need a little bit more information. Hi, Stephen, by the way, just need to sneak in there.
Stephen the Wood Dude has just joined us, yep.
Oh,
Good evening,
Stephen.
Krusky's Wood Creations. I use chestnut microcrystalline wax on a lot of projects to protect against fingerprints.
Yeah, it's
It's
great
good
for
for
that. Yeah, because the melting point of the microcrystalline is higher than body temperature, so it doesn't finger mark in the way that a standard wax, something like Wood Wax 22, great wax, but it will finger mark. Royce the boy, you sounded 240 before putting the stain on. Did you put anything on before you applied the stain? To use anything else at all?
Yeah, like sanding sealer or something.
Yeah.
Because that stops it.
It certainly will. So there's a certain product that I'm wondering if it got used, so I'm just waiting to see on that. Stuart, hi.
Oh, Stuart Freeney's in. Good evening, Stuart.
Oh, Stuart.
Have you
Stuart's been
recovered
a guest Earworm.
from the trip?
Stuart will be back on this year sometime.
Yeah, has he recovered from his
He's outing to Sweden and Vecra.
Sweden?
Yeah. Right, Royce the boy, nothing else on there. So I think it's going to come down to technique as much as anything else. So you want to try that. 240 grit is fine. Put it on with your cloth, but while it's still wet, wipe it over to remove the surplus. Then it can't run. You should get a more even finish with it that way. It will depend on the timber. Sometimes that can affect it. But yeah, try it that way round. And I think you might find that's, or I hope you're going to find that's the difference. And at the same time, if you don't get the colour that you want by doing that, if it's not dark enough, it's not bright enough, you can always put a second coat on. There's no problem with that whatsoever. AJK, thank you very much indeed for that comment.
And Roy the boy added that he's used sanding sealer spray afterwards.
Yeah.
So it sounds very much like a technique issue.
It's as working with Stuart the other day, and he said, one of the things to do with the stains is play with them, and he's quite right. Just play, experiment, and get everything that you use is going to be slightly different, so it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. But the stains are pretty easy to get on with in most cases. They're quite forgiving, so just have a fiddle around with them, vary your technique a little bit. I think you'll find the right way through, and if you don't, come back to us and we'll work it out with you. We'll always help out as much as we can.
Poor Stuart's had his booster jab again. Oh, finally. Got it yesterday. It's been a bit rough today. Well, I hope you feel better tomorrow, Stuart.
Definitely.
It's the weekend, mate. You can take it easier.
Yeah, I'll be fine. No teaching.
Nigel, I'm glad someone saw that, but I don't think anyone else really picks up on that picture. We didn't go in there. We didn't like the look of the place. And in case anyone's wondering, there was where we were in Vecra in Sweden. There was a restaurant called Bastard Burgers. So yeah, as I say, we didn't take our chances on that one.
Didn't partake.
No.
Quite right. Doesn't have the right sound about it.
Really doesn't, does it?
Benjamin says, my favourite chestnut product purchase has been the buffing wheels. If anyone wax proves you can polish it. Yeah, okay. I'll not finish that statement. But I have a set of the buffing wheels as well, and they're just with the single mandrel, put it in the chuck, away you go. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, the buffing wheels are a great shortcut to a brilliant finish, and that's how I describe it. I don't think that, I think it's possible to do anything to get the same sort of finish using other methods. The buffing wheel kit just gets you there quicker and very repeatable. So, yeah. We did have an amazing fish stew, Stuart. Yeah, we finally got to get a Swedish-style meal over there, because everywhere else is burgers and kebabs and pizzas. And if you come in way, you can have a kebab pizza
Kebab
he had a-
pizza.
He had,
Kebab pizza,
he had
very
a doner kebab pizza. That's all I'm going to say
That
about it.
sounds interesting.
That sounds
Yeah.
non-edible to me.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't think I could have done it, but he claims it was a misunderstanding when he walked into the pizza shop. Stephen, I haven't been encouraging all these wonderful people to come along to the Weekender, but feel free
Yet.
to do so.
Yet.
Yes.
There's still time. There's still time.
Val is asking, will you be making Velcro turners abrasives on a roll, the same as 240, as the 120 and 180 comes in individual sheets?
Oh, right. Sorry, I hadn't. Sorry, I hadn't tweaked. That was a question for me.
I think it is.
Yeah. So yeah, we do. Our Turner's abrasive with the hook and loop backing, that comes in 80, 120, 180, 240, 320, and 400 grits. They're on a roll, not in individual sheets. We used to do them in individual sheets, and we realised that was a little bit limiting. So we now do it on a roll that you can obviously cut into individual sheets if you want to. I wonder if I'm misunderstanding the question there. So yeah, does that answer it, or have I misread your question? Nigel, keep those burgers to yourself, mate. I don't think we want those.
I don't think so.
Gerard, you probably need to speak to Ryanair on that one.
Yeah. I haven't received his ticket, yeah. Neither have I, Gerard. Shocking, really.
All right, so coat of sand and
You'll
sealer.
have to do like I do, Gerard. You'll just have to swim.
I'm just looking at my emails, and someone, I probably shouldn't be doing this when I'm doing this, but this. Oh, are you kidding me? So someone's having tickets, having trouble getting their tickets, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. So I'm going to have to post them to them. But yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. Bizarre.
So,
Right.
so Vival suggesting, she says, at the last our last order of loop 120, 180, they were individual sheets.
Yeah, we are switching over. So we started out with the individual sheets, and we are switching over to rolls of them now. So yeah, they are pretty much the same quantity, but they will be rolls from now on. It's just a changeover in the stock situation. The amount that you get is pretty much the same.
Right.
Oh, TC Woodworks. The question is, when are you bringing the Weekender up north, Terry? Ooh, controversial.
Who knows? Who knows? I never like to divulge what's going on. I mean, I was saying earlier to Brian and Steve that we do the Weekender, and afterwards I say, "Oh, that was it. I'm not doing another one. It was just mad trying to organise it, and how can we improve on it?" And then 2 weeks later, I'm planning the next one. So yeah, TC, just watch this space. It was always the intention to bounce the Weekender around the country and have it in different places. We thought that was just a great idea, and we sort of reached an understanding and agreement with the AWGB. Obviously, they've got their seminar up in the north this year, or northish this year, which is about the third time they've tried to do it. And we've said that we won't go north when they're north. We don't want to be in competition with them. We have a great relationship with the AWGB, so we don't want to tread on their toes. And of course, if the seminar goes ahead this year, that means that they won't be up north next year, because they do it every other year. So watch this space. If you haven't already, jump onto the Woodturning Weekender website. I'll put a link up in a moment, and you can sign up for bulletins there. I post them out, or I email them out every so often, and that's the best way to get all the information, all the latest news about what's going on. Promise you, you won't be inundated with loads and loads of emails. At most, there's one a week, and sometimes less than that if I don't find the time to do it.
So we've got James Crawford has joined us, as has Derek from Athenswood Studios, Doug from Paul Barnes in,
All right, Doug.
and Norman Greenwell's in.
Right, so I'm just going to do a bit of texturing on there with this big chunky Robert Sorby texturing tool. Looks like a spur off a cowboy's boot, doesn't it? Right, so
We've got 95 people watching, Steve.
wow, thank you very much, everybody. Right, so lathe about 500. I'm going to turn this at a slight angle, maybe 22 degrees. And I'm just going to run that through to give me my texture. I want it quite deep, so I'm going to push on it quite hard. So we're going to stop it and see what it looks like. So maybe run that a little bit, run that again. So I want it quite deep in there, so that's better. Can you see that? Can you see that in there?
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
How did it do over the bark, Steve?
Caught it there, but obviously the low part is missed.
Yeah, we just missed it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So I'm just going to put a little tiny band either side of that.
Roy, the boy's asking you, is that a new tool you bought, Steve?
No, it's not a new tool. I've had it a long, long time. You can't get me in trouble like that. You can't get me. Yeah, I'm positive.
I'm going to ask Nikki.
Right,
I'm just sending her a message now.
Okay. So skew line that side. Skew line that side. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to sand and seal that bit again, because we're going to spray it black over that, and I don't want the ebonizer lacquer to penetrate into the wood. I want it to, obviously, because that'll go.
Seeing as how we're about halfway through, guys, we've got 99 people watching now, and we've only got 33 thumbs up. I think we could all show Steve a bit of love there and give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, but they're not over to see me. They're over to see Terry. You see.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
And that's why you've only got 33 likes. No one's impressed yet.
Ooh.
Right, so a little bit sand and sealer on there. Just let that dry off.
Matt's workshop is in. Good evening, Matt.
Hi, Matt. How you doing? Right, so just getting.
No, your dad's in as well, Steve.
Hi, Dad. How you doing?
He's been in for ages. I just forgot to say it.
Oh, Dad. What can I say?
Can't get the stuff.
Right, so I'm just using a soft brush really to clean out, because you get the tissue stuck in the texturing. So I'm just using my soft brush just to brush that out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give that a coat of. Go on, sorry.
Is that a soft wire brush?
No, it's soft bristle. No, that's not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pointing to the wrong camera. Yeah, it's just like a nylon bristle. I bought a pack of 3. You get a brass one, a wire one, and this one. I think it might have come from B&M or the Range, about a couple of quid a pack.
The Range, probably. That's your favourite shop, I think.
Oh, I like the Range. They've got a whole range of stuff in there. They have. Right.
So do I now that I found one. There's actually 2 in Belfast now. Wow.
Right, so I'm using Chestnut ebonizing lacquer for this. You can use other makes are available. That's what I'm going to say.
Other makes of what are available. Shocking, Steve.
Right, so I'm going to put my extraction on, take some of the fumes away. So what's the ideal shake time on one of these cans in, Terry? About a couple of minutes?
Well, probably about 30 seconds, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, the technology on aerosols and everything else has moved forward over the years.
Yeah.
And the paints, the lacquers and everything else that goes into them, they just mix easier now. So you don't really need to. It's not a strong arm job to get them to mix nowadays.
Not a 20-minute mixing session, no.
No, definitely not. Thank you, Stephen. I'd like to think so.
All right, so just going to get the warm air gun on that to dry it off a little bit.
Don't do what I did, Steve.
What's that?
Get the thing too close and bubble it.
Oh no! How many times? How many times have you been told that?
Just twice. It's easy.
The other thing is when you turn it on, not to turn it on pointing at your piece.
True.
Ends up full of dust all over it.
Benjamin, our products work brilliantly on an Axmin stress cave.
Oh, don't encourage him, Terry. Don't encourage him.
They also work brilliantly off of them as well. So yeah,
He's a chancer. This is an ongoing thing because I have record power chucks.
right.
And everybody else in our little group has SK114s, apart from Steve. He has record power chucks as well. So it's a kind of ongoing thing that they want me to buy
There was something going
Maxminster.
on there, but I didn't want to ignore it.
Thanks, Terry. And Andy the Woodwork Learner says, Brian, thanks to you, I've just picked up a Robert Sorby Hollow Pro today. Well, it'll be a good thing for you because it certainly holds the tool in position, particularly for hollowing over 4 inches in. It's a great tool.
Yeah.
I don't think they call it the Hollow Pro anymore. It's this Hollow Steady Rest Pro or something they call it now. But it's a good bit of kit.
Yeah. Is ebonizing lacquer short for black paint? Actually, it would be long for black paint, to be honest.
It is a bit long. Yeah.
And no, they are different things. So ebonizing lacquer is a heavily pigmented lacquer. Black is one of those pigments that you don't need a lot of it to get the end result to be black. If it's like green or blue, there are so many different shades of those that you can have loads of different variations on it. Black is black, and it's one that you don't need to put a lot of pigment in, as I say, and that means that we can pigment the lacquer, and it still allows the grain to show through underneath. Whereas if it was a black paint and it was doing its job properly, and there are some cheap black paints that don't, but if it was a black paint, it would obliterate the grain, and you'd end up with a surface where you can't see what's underneath it at all. So that's why ebonizing lacquer, and it is slightly different. The other colour's ebonized. Okay, I read that as cat was ebonized. I've got 2 of those around. So yeah, they were born that way.
Oh, Gerard! I thought the Salisbury Hollow and Pro was to help old turners. Oh, Gerard!
It is, Gerard. You'll be needing one shortly, buddy. Any more of your cheek, you might be needing one quicker than you expect. Because you might be elderly and infirm.
Right. So that's the black.
Ah, dear.
Pole one, yeah. I mean, the reason the Model T Ford was black was because it was cheap. You didn't need too much paint, and black paint was cheap, and that's why they were all black. Although you gotta go black cars if it's the right car. Yeah, I like a black car.
Hard to keep clean. I had a black car. It's a nightmare to keep clean.
I have to disagree. I like red. Red cars are
Nowadays, any colour's hard to keep clean. God.
Well, this is true.
Right, so I'm going to use, if I can get them out of the drawer.
And the Woodhood says it's wonderful for that famous crackle look on your work. You're self-promoting again there, Stephen.
And so he should.
The last couple of pieces have been amazing.
Yeah, very much so.
All these stuff's amazing, to be honest.
Right, so we're going to use the iridescence, chestnut iridescence.
James Pritchard's just joined us. Steve.
Who's just joined?
James.
Oh, James. Hi, James. So, vibrant colours. I'm going to get a brush and just splodge them in. One of them brushes. Get a proper brush.
Gerard the French Stone, who's a chef, by the way, likes to live his life dangerously.
Well, only for another 361 days.
Yeah, 290 something, Steve. Come on.
Oh, is it?
Gerard will tell us now because he has a little chart on the wall, kind of days to do thing until he retires. So he says it's no fun if life is too easy.
Right, so
Heather suggests that black is just another shade of grey. Yeah, okay.
I'm just going to do odd spaces.
Stephen says he is promoting himself. He says, I am. I need the cash. Don't we all, Stephen?
Well, Brian
I
does because he
I have a whole rack full of stuff here. I haven't sold a thing yet.
Brian does because he keep buying tools. Well, I hope Michelle's not in.
No, she's down at her cousin's house.
Oh
this
yeah,
evening.
yeah, of course she is. Yeah, sorry.
Ian the Sheriff's joined us. Good evening, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Now, don't forget that Terry's here, guys, from Chestnut Products. And if you have any questions, stick them in the chat. Let's keep them busy.
I was having a cup of coffee then. Do you mind?
Oh, sorry, Terry.
I wasn't really.
I've actually finished mine. I might have to go and get another one.
Yeah, I have finished my drink. I will get another one in a minute. But yeah.
Right, so that's yellow.
And Stephen has mentioned, by the way, our Woodturning Weekender, which is coming up at the end of July. And I think a lot of you know about it already. But if you have any questions about what it is, because it's not your normal sort of woodworking show, it is a little bit different. So if you've got any questions about that, it's a great time to ask and to get some more information about it. So always happy to talk about that.
Oh, who's on the cans?
Different kind of refreshment for me now.
Well, yeah, that's not a cup of coffee.
Did you hear that opening, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness, this microphone's not very good at the background noise now.
You took it with you. That's the thing.
Not allowed to take it off, Terry. It's attached. Steve gets grumpy if I take it off. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Brian. I'll have one later.
Right, so
That's what I thought too, Terry, but then I thought, yeah, why not?
Yeah, we did give away free beer at the last show, actually, but we might be doing that again. But yeah,
cost him too much. The alcoholics.
yeah, that's right. Ian, yes, that's the one
it's a
down in
whole bunch.
Swindon.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, yeah. Stephen there giving it a good review there. It was, yeah, it's a bunch of fun. Yeah, we're doing it in Swindon this year, end of July, at the Railway Museum there, Steam, which is just a fantastic venue. So, yeah, do come along. It is fun, basically. That's the reason we do it. That's the reason I carry on, keep doing them, because we have so much fun there. It's a great atmosphere. Everyone enjoys it. There's no egos. There's no cliques. There's nothing like that. It's just everyone socializes, gets on, and just has a great time.
Sounds wonderful. If I hadn't booked already to go to Harrogate, I might have tried to go.
Yes.
That would have to be the third trip to England this year. I don't think my Michelle might be too happy about that.
I'll bring her with you. I mean, it's...
Oh, no, Terry, no, shh. No, we can't do things. That's not allowed.
We have
you might find out how much it costs to buy stuff.
Well, the weekend is not really a sales show. It's more of a seminar demonstration type thing. We will have a couple of stands there. Axminster are going to
see, there you go. Axminster over there. There you go. There's SK114 again. It'll be on.
Yeah.
Just somebody will mention it any second now. Wait here.
But we have a lot of people who come there, and their other halves go off and do other stuff because there's lots of other stuff in the area to do. It's right next door to a big outlet shopping centre as well. So that's something there. Everyone partners come along for the evening part as well, which is actually sold out anyway. So I'm not sure why I'm talking about that. But yeah, we try and make it as friendly and as inclusive as we can. Gerard, they do differ for sure. And ours are a much lower viscosity paint. They're not like a paste out of a tube, and you can see the colours in the bottles, so you can have that. You know exactly what you're going to be getting from them. They also work perfectly on like a white finish or any colour finish, so you don't have to use them over black. Certainly, they really stand out on black, but it's not essential to do that. Ian in the shed, it's about 3.5 hours for me to get to Swindon, but as I said, we're trying to bounce the event around the country so that everyone gets an opportunity to go there. And we found now that people have been to a couple, they're following us around because they've enjoyed it so much, which is fantastic. Really happy with that. I think I've caught all of them up.
So I see on your little poster you've got some headline demonstrators. I can't actually make out who they are.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, because obviously you can see that and no one else can at the moment. Hopefully you can't, because I'm lounging around all over the place.
No, they can't.
So on Saturday, we've got Darren Breeze in the morning, who's a local lad. He did a Conkers Live for us last year, and it was just fantastic. Really enjoyed that. And he's coming along to demonstrate and start us off in the morning. And in the afternoon, we've got Richard Findlay, who probably needs no introduction. Fantastic turner. His demonstrations are more like a tutorial. He's so in-depth and so talented and such a fantastic demonstrator. He puts his points across and the information across so well that it's just brilliant. We've worked with him a couple of times on our Conkers Live. He stepped in a very much a last minute one time for us, and the reviews, the comments that we got after Richard's demo was just phenomenal. Everyone really enjoyed it. Then on the Saturday night, as I've said, we're having our evening get-together meal, which is always fun, always a few surprises. No one knows what goes on there. Except no one knows what the plan is. I know what's happening this year. The same as I knew what was happening last year, but none of my staff knew what to expect. So they all had a shock when that all kicked off. I don't know if you know what happened there. I'll tell you about that in a minute, maybe. But getting back to this year, then on Sunday in the morning, we've got Joey Richardson demonstrating for us. She's always worth seeing. Some beautifully exquisite work that she does, turning and piercing and decorating. So Joey in the morning, and then we're rounding off in the afternoon with a relative newcomer, Nathaniel Griffiths, who's a extremely talented turner. He's very good. He does a lot of segmented work. He's won awards for his work in the past. He's now working with Axminster as well, and we're really happy to have him on board and to be helping him to sort of break through into the main market. Other stuff going on at the show as well. And I'm sort of reading Nigel's comment there. I'll come back to that. And other things going on, we've got, we call them clinics going on around the side of the hall. They're only open when the main demonstrators, when the main stage isn't in use. And we've got B and Andy Matthews coming, who've been supporting us from the beginning. They're great. Alan Kramer coming, who does loads of miniature turnings. And really happy about this one. We've got Kirsty Dalton coming down from Scotland to show the stuff that she does. We had her on Conkers Live last year. Breath of fresh air, she was described as.
Does some super stuff.
Yeah, she does. Absolutely brilliant. Jennifer, no, Emma demonstrated for us last year. We're trying not to repeat it. We're trying to keep it all fresh. But Emma is coming to the event anyway as a visitor guest, which just shows you how much she enjoyed it last year, really. Nige, would you consider a weekend? No, I wouldn't, to be honest. I don't want to tread on anyone's toes and do it in where events have taken place before, but we are looking at other locations. So yeah, there will be other stuff going on other places, but I'm not keen to go to Newark or Harrogate simply because there's something there already every year. And I don't want to compete with those. We can't compete with those. It's a totally different type of show. Stephen, yeah, there will be surprises this year, as always. Steve's very quiet there. You having fun there, Steve?
Oh, I'm just listening.
All right.
I'm just playing with my colours.
This is what we kind of hope would happen, Terry. That people, the guest earworm gives a chance to do their thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And promote their own business and try and help the guys in the chat if they've got any issues.
This is the idea of the special guest airworms, that we just sit in the background and you guys do all the, answer the questions that come in.
Cool, that's fine.
Jennifer says, is Conquerors Live coming back on YouTube?
It will come back at some point. At the moment, so Conquerors Live filled a really good gap for us and everyone else, and it was a great way for us to keep in touch with people and keep in contact, and everyone really enjoyed it. But now that all the restrictions have gone and the clubs are starting to open up again, then I'm finding two things. One is that I think the need for Conquerors Live has diminished slightly, and certainly that was obvious by the number of people watching. It was definitely drifting away, and my time is less now. I'm being pulled here, there, and everywhere by clubs who've booked demonstrations over the last couple of years and had to postpone them, and everyone's trying to cram them into the next 12 months. So I'm finding my evenings are being taken up more and more. So that's why Conquerors Live hasn't returned yet. I think it will, but on a very sporadic basis. We'll do one or two every so often, but at the moment, everything that we're doing is being concentrated towards doing the getting out and doing live demos, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. So that's great. Steve promised you a code. Did he? It's a bit silly of him. You could try wink wink. Won't work, but you could try it.
Yeah, not a chance. Mark Shotton's joined us. Good evening, Mark. Clive Williams suggesting maybe a highlighting line on the edges of the colour area, Steve.
I was just thinking that. I wonder what I'm going to get in there getting spilt everywhere.
Can I just jump in? So Ian in the shed. Ian, send me the details of it, because Ian suggested a potential venue for a weekend in Newcastle. I'm sure he's got a reason why, but we were really lucky when we found the first venue at Spalding. It was just perfect. We struggled a little bit on when we went down to Kent. We found a venue. It was good. It wasn't perfect. Then we had to postpone. We found a second venue which gave us more of what we wanted, and that was great. And then they, at the last minute, they cancelled. They said they couldn't let us have it for that weekend. We should have cancelled, and we should have said enough's enough, but we didn't. We found another venue just down the road, and that worked really well. We were very lucky to get away with it, to be honest, but the venue was great. They pulled out all the stops, and it worked really well for us. But finding venues that give us everything that we need and at a price that's realistic is a real problem. So yeah, if you have a suggestion, I make no promises, but drop me an email, tell me about it. We'll look at it. What size venue are we looking for? Well, that's that's kind of a tough one to answer, really. So we would reckon on being able to seat 200 or 300 people. That would be fine for us. That's about the number that we're looking for. We don't want too many people in there. We want to keep it friendly and social. We do have a great audiovisual team that work with us. They are absolutely super. So everyone will be able to see everything that's going on. But we don't want to crowd the place out. So yeah, 200 or 300 people, but it needs to have everything else there as well that we want, which is good food at a good price. Anyone who's been to the NEC will know how much food there costs and how much, it's like a captive market. So we always want to make sure there's a good, affordable food, good parking as well. Again, anyone who's been to the NEC recently. Well, it is. The NEC, there's a show at the NEC the other week, it's $16.95 to park. Well, that's just ridiculous. Our weekend has got free parking. And so, yeah, there are lots of other factors. A huge yacht in Hawaii. If you've got one, Ben, then we'll come over. That'll be lovely. We'll look forward to that. Gerard, it's cheap in Ireland, but getting all our stuff there wouldn't be.
So there we go.
That is a huge issue. Nigel says maybe a couple of Conquerors quizzes now and then.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just tonight, funnily enough, and I really should get another quiz done because they were good fun. I really enjoyed doing those.
They are good fun,
yeah. Time consuming, but great fun. So,
very time consuming.
Yeah.
The Woodwork Learner says Brian will put you up, Terry. Yeah, if you come and do something in Ireland, I'll certainly put you up, Terry. It's no big deal.
As long as it's in Brian's back garden, you could have the show.
I've got a shed.
Yeah, Gary's. Right.
We'll take it.
It would seat 200 people. We have to move the horses out first.
Yeah.
All right, so let's turn this out then. Oops, that's just.
Danny Boyce just popped in. He says that looks really nice, Steve.
Thank you, Danny. How are you, sir?
And Scott Dunn says that looks great, Steve.
Thank you. So I'm just going to plan it off.
I think we're all waiting to go over to. I think Ben has set us up now. I think we're going to have to go to Ben's house with his huge yacht in Hawaii. Apparently he has two. Showing up now, are we, Ben? Woodwork Learner has a question, Terry. What would be the best product to protect Steve's colours?
So the best thing to put over that is going to be the acrylic, either the acrylic gloss lacquer or the acrylic satin lacquer. Either will work perfectly. The acrylic gloss lacquer would be better, in my opinion, because it really brings the colours out, really makes the colours pop. But either one of those will be fine. It will protect it and look after it, and it'll be fine. And because you're spraying it on, you don't get any compatibility problems. It's not going to lift the paint and try and move it around. So that's a perfect choice. Hopefully that's what Steve's going to use, if anything.
Well, I wasn't going to, but because
the question was asked, so I was answering the question.
No, it's fine. The reason being is because then I've got to wait around for it to dry before I can turn the middle out.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can always lacquer it later.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Which is what I normally do anyway. If I'm lacquering a piece, finish the piece completely, then lacquer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sensible thing to do. I mean, the lacquers are sort of fairly quick drying, but there's still 20 minutes to be really handleable. They touch dry in 5, but it's time that you can't, if it's on the chuck or whatever, you can't take it off. So you're better off taking it completely away first and doing it that way.
So being angry.
I saw you at the last weekender, Stephen, and I think you were having a go even there, mate. We had a bar, and you didn't hold back.
Stephen doesn't like a drink or two, does he? I can't believe that. Unlike myself, who's absolutely teetotal.
You can see, yeah. Well, I can see. No one else can see what you're doing, I guess. But yeah,
Not in the minute they can't. No.
yeah, yeah. Ian, that's one of the other things that needs to be at a weekend venue is a bar.
Oh, yeah. It's almost a given.
Yeah. How many coats of lacquer would you use? Up to 3. So you don't want to be using any more than 3 coats of lacquer because the coats at the bottom can't stand the weight of the ones above it, and it can crack and craze in the end. 1 or 2 will do the job. 3, if you want to go further than that. So it's up to you. Ian, thank you very much. I'll check the emails in a minute. I was saying earlier about someone having trouble getting hold of their tickets, and they've just emailed me back again to say, ignore me, I'm being stupid. They're all attached at the bottom of the email. I was missing it. So, yeah. So we do sort the problems out as well when they come in. Can I give a quick plug for our newsletter as well?
Go for it.
We send out... I'm very keen to help people and give lots of information about the best way of using the products and how to get the best out of them. So we do a newsletter every Friday that we send out, absolutely free, of course. And I take 3 of the questions that we've been asked during the week, put them into the newsletter. I include the answers as well because it'd be mean otherwise. And then I know here are the questions we had. I'm not going to tell you the answers.
Yeah.
We don't.
But thanks for sending the questions. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good one, Steve.
These are the questions we had. They're interesting, aren't they? So we then we include the answers and just email it out. There's a little bit of news in there, not a heck of a lot, to be honest. I call it a newsletter, but it's bugger all news half the time. Just telling a little bit about what we were up to and the fact I was on here tonight. So if you're interested in getting that, then just jump onto our website, scroll down to the bottom of any page on the website, just fill in your name and your address and the email address, and away you go. It will turn up for you next Friday. And if you decide that you really don't like it, you think it's not for you, really easy to unsubscribe as well, of course. So there's no problem.
I actually quite look forward to getting on a Friday. Comes every Friday morning.
Yeah,
And, there's always useful tips in it. Always.
Yeah, I've
even when you're not there, Terry.
Even when I'm not there, yeah, definitely. I have some time off occasionally, and yeah, it's
A couple of 2 or 3 weeks back there was a stand-in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Mel did a great job for us. I taught her everything she knows. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that now. But yeah, a lot of people say to me, it shows them how much they look forward to the newsletter, and it's the highlight of their week. And I really think they need to get out and get a life, to be honest. But it's great that people do enjoy it. A lot of people say that it's how they know it's Friday if they retired, so they know it's Friday because the newsletter arrives. Gerard, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying those. That is really good. Spirit Wind with Stone and Bone. It's our iridescent paint Steve's using there. So that's iridescent. Our Chestnut Products iridescent paint. And Stephen, Dan from Zebrano Woodcraft. Yeah, or Rodney Trotter, as we like to call him.
Rodney Trotter.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a moment. I will explain that. He apparently likes to drink. I think so, but yeah. And Dan will be there this year as well. So yeah, right. More than 5 coats of acrylic gloss spray. Yeah. Well, I always say stuff like that. So a very thin coat will help it certainly, and you'll get away with it a lot of the time, particularly when you're working on small areas. But it's not best practice. Best practice is 3 coats of pretty much any lacquer, quite honestly. And I always say it's only ever the job that's really urgent that you have to get out the door that day and you haven't got time to remake it. That's the one where you'll find that it cracks or it goes wrong. So yeah, it's just best practice really. If you if you do what you do and it's working for you, then that's fine. But best practice would be 3 coats of lacquer. The adhesion starts to get a problem as well after too many. So yeah, have I got time to just explain what happened at the last weekender on the Saturday?
Yes, yeah. Go ahead.
So I told everyone that we were going to do a pub quiz, that there's going to be a pub quiz. Every time I mentioned it, I said, but it's not really a pub quiz. It's not even in a pub, because it wasn't. And what we got everyone sat down expecting this pub quiz to take place. And in fact, it was an Only Fools and Horses tribute act coming in,
All right.
a dining experience. I'd said there'd be a famous face from TV hosting the quiz. And so I'm pretending to be on the phone saying, I can't get through to this guy. I don't know where he is. He's been held up. And in walks Del Boy behind me, sees the audience there and says, oh, get out of the way. I can sell these people some stuff. And just goes into the show. And they were fantastic. Everyone, almost without exception, thoroughly enjoyed it. They had a whale of a time. No one knew what to expect. I was taking a bit of a chance. I was waiting for someone to complain and say, I came here for a quiz. Where's the quiz? But no one did, fortunately. It was, and it was the look on people's faces, and it was like, what's going on here? And I'd given all of my team, all of the staff come to the weekender, and I'd given them envelopes. And I said, open this at a point where it's obvious that you need to open it. And I'd said, your job is to explain to people that, sorry, there isn't a quiz. This is it. This is what it's going to be. And it's really good. It was really good fun. I'm sure Stephen will make a comment about it. But during the evening, there's Del Boy and Rodney, and they're looking for some lookalikes so that they can hide from the police. They can send the police looking after the lookalikes as a red herring. And they picked one of the guys that works for me. He's a big, tall, fairly slim guy, Paul. They picked him to be Del Boy. And then Del Boy says, and now we need someone to play your part, Rodney. Oh, it's got to be you, hasn't it? And pointed straight at Dan from Zebrano Woodcrafts. So Dan is he's sort of a well-built lad. He's a bodybuilder, actually. So yeah, he's he lifts a lot of weights with dreadlocks. And it couldn't look less like Rodney Trotter if he tried. And they dressed him up as in Rodney's coat, and Rodney says, "Oh, I don't know about the Trotter brothers. They look more like the Chuckle brothers." It's just a great evening. It was lots and lots of stuff there. So really enjoyed that. But no one from no one apart from the people at the venue who I'd had to tell, no one knew what was going on. I booked that over 2 years before, and I had to keep it secret for 2 years. So I just like to throw odd surprises in here and there.
Very good. Stephen Woodwood says it was a great night with lots of laughs.
It was.
Sounds like it.
It was. I'd seen the show before, which is why I booked them. They really interact with the audience. They come in, they spend a lot of time with us. And in fact, they were there nearly all the time. And it was great. We had a couple of birthdays there as well. So it was Emma Cook's birthday. I think she got serenaded by Uncle Albert. So that was that was fun. Yeah. It was just a great evening. They were really good. Really good.
Scott Dunn says, Steve, that was a great recovery, Steve.
What's that? With a bit of bark broke out.
Yeah. And it is Friday the 13th, of course.
It is.
John Scarborough's just gone and joined us. He says, good
John.
evening. I'm a bit late.
Oh, John.
John, you're here. And you're maintaining your viewing figures at 95, Steve, so that's good.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming over. Hope we've entertained. Well,
Trying our best.
Brian and Terry has anyway.
I was worried I wouldn't have anything to say. I haven't shut up all evening.
Makes my job so much easier, Terry.
You wouldn't know I
Good.
was a guy retiring type, would you?
We had Les Thorne on once before, and I didn't have to say much then either.
It's a great turner though, Les. We've worked with
He
him
is
for a long
absolutely
time.
fabulous.
I think if we'd have let Les go, he'd have carried on all night.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah,
Great guy. I love Les.
that's
He's
very good.
such a lovely
That's,
character.
obviously, that was good to hear about the Woodturning Weekender. It's sounds like it's going to be a great event.
It is a lot. It's a lot of work, but I really enjoy it. And once we're there and everything's running, I'm able to pretty much just sit back and enjoy it along with everyone else. So yeah, it's.
Good.
I wander around the whole weekend with a huge smile on my face because it's just great to see everyone else enjoying it. And so yeah, it's good fun.
You should be proud of yourself, mate, because you bring a lot of people together.
Good.
Yeah, you know, it was really nice last year because I hadn't considered it, but we had our weekend at the beginning of September last year down in Canterbury, and you know, sort of word got back to me, and people were saying that they'd been sort of shut away and kept away from their friends and everything else for such a long time. How much it meant to them to be able to go out and mingle and see people and just spend time with friends and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I must admit I hadn't considered that aspect to it. I was too busy. I was too close to it to think about it. But people did. You know, that was really pleasing. It was an unexpected bonus, shall we say?
It's good. That's what the community likes. People love getting together, and then, like I said before the live, the woodturning community is a very friendly community, and everybody loves to spend time together, and that's always nice. Even if you just sit there for 10 minutes and chat, people like that.
Yeah.
Stephen said, "Yep, it's Friday the 13th, and I totally screwed up a spalted piece this afternoon. So my cocktail hour started early." Good man, Steve.
That's a good plan, Steve.
I didn't even go to the workshop today. I went up to cut grass this morning, and the bonnet fell off my lawnmower.
Oh.
So I spent the rest of the morning repairing that. Suddenly went very quiet. What happened there?
You stop talking, Brian.
Yeah,
What?
I paused for breath.
What are you trying to say? Just having a quick look back in the chat and see if I missed any questions. But I don't think I did. Oh, I did miss a comment from Derek. He says, "Steve, I just have to say, love the buddies. Pride of place on my tube board."
Oh, good man.
Now I need more chucks.
Good night, Gerard.
Oh, Jared's not leaving us again, is he?
Yeah, it's too late for him.
He's getting a bit old, Terry. He can't hack the face anymore. He has to go to bed early these days.
All right, Gerard. See you later, mate. Thanks for coming over. Right, so it's getting sanded up. 120. Where's 120? There it is.
The woodwork manor says, "I've been buying turning stuff with nowhere to put it for a couple of weeks." That's good planning. Yeah, that is really good planning.
So say that again. Andy's been what?
He's been buying turning stuff with nowhere to put it.
Has he not got a lathe yet then? Or?
I don't know. I don't know what he's been buying. Or maybe it's more tools and he's nowhere to put them in. I don't know. Nigel's got to go, he says.
See you later, Nigel. Thanks for
Thanks,
coming over.
everyone. Got to go. Interesting evening. I'll see you all again.
See you later, Nigel.
Cheers, Nigel. See you later in the year.
But Ian the Shed says he spent a couple of hours. See, this is right up my street. This comment. I spent a couple of hours today trying to tidy up so I can buy more stuff. Run out of time to actually make anything though. Well, you see, Ian, you know my opinion on that. If you tidy up at the end of every session, it only takes minutes instead of having to spend half a day.
Clean shop, happy shop.
There you go. Clean shop, happy turner. Jared says, I'm not getting old. Just some of us have to work for a living. I know that feeling, Jared. I worked for 40 odd years. Now, in fact, 50 odd years. But now I don't because I'm retired. And I'm not going to feel sad about that because it's fabulous.
Right. Sanded inside.
Young Paul has got two SC4s with a Cornet Herald attached to one of them.
Just one of them. Right, let's get some sand in. See, I think I'm going to leave the middle of that natural, actually. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to that.
What does the wood look like on the inside? Let me have a look.
You see it?
Does anybody else do that? Look at a flat screen picture and tilt your head to try and get a better look at what's happening on the top of the. Doesn't work.
No, it's just you, Brian.
Just me. Yeah, thought so. Never mind.
It'll happen one day, Brian. You'll be able to do that. 3D.
Yeah, 3D TV.
It's coming.
Oh, it will be. I think it's here. It was here for a while, then it kind of went away again, didn't it?
I got a 3D TV. I've only used it once to watch a movie, 3D movie.
That's what I mean. It came, but didn't really do anything.
Didn't really kick off, did it?
No. It's a bit like the 3D cinemas and stuff as well. It was a good fad for a while, but
3D YouTube. That's what we need.
Ooh,
oh no,
no,
we definitely don't.
we look bad enough in high definition, let alone 3D.
Yeah, no, it's enough of that high definition nonsense as well. 720p is plenty. Don't need any 4K or anything. You see every scratch and tool mark.
And wrinkle.
Brian with the Y suggests, are you going to use chestnut cut and polish on the inside, Steve?
Nope, because I haven't got any.
Nope. Ian Shed has pulled the old, I've only got a small shed card. He says, very true, Brian. I just need a bigger shed to give everything a place to go in.
If you have a bigger shed, you'll make a bigger mess.
Yeah, exactly. Get it right from the beginning.
Ian in the shed, got your email. Thank you very much.
Stephen has a question for Steve. Have you not got a Chestnut Products sticker I can see?
We'll have to get you one.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh dear.
There's some spaces there, just begging for one.
There is.
I'll get one up to you. Miss T, thanks for coming in tonight, and shame you won't be seeing you later in the year, but thank you very much anyway. Take care.
See you, Miss T.
Bye, Miss T.
Thanks for coming over. Ouch. Sand and sealer on the hairs on your arm don't help. Right, so I've just got that little bit there that I messed up with where the bark came off.
Woodward Leonard suggests if we had 3D YouTube, we could catch the balls that Steve drops.
Oh,
I
ain't dropped one for ages.
That's just a bit unkind.
You're
not called Sir Drop a Lot for nothing.
So I think I'm just going to try and return that because where I glued that back in, that's a little bit high there. I can live with that bit, but that bit I can't live with.
Dave O.T., I like your style.
A small sticker, 8 foot by 12 foot. Yeah. Well said, Mr. Oti. So you got it right that time.
I'm always happy to promote other companies.
Benjamin says you could put a Chestnuts product sticker over the witch.
No, the witch is there for you, Ben.
Yep, the witch was put back just for you, Ben. It was taken away, but it's back just for you. Ben has a bit of a fear of Steve's witch.
Ah, right.
The witch with the skinny legs
And the wobbly eyes.
and the wobbly eyes, the googly eyes.
Oh, if there are any Facebook users out there, by the way, we do also have a Facebook group called Conkers. So do feel free to check us out. Yeah, it's nice and friendly. Loads of Stephen's always posting stuff in there, so that's nice. And lots of ideas, lots of support, lots of help. Yeah, so Conkers on Facebook. Do come check us out, as they say.
Just typed it in as bonkers.
Yeah, that's the other reason I did it as well, because it's Conkers, so it's got a chestnut connection, and it rhymes with bonkers. What more can you want? You know, it ticks every box.
Conkers Live. There we go.
We got Conkers Live, which is the live streams, but Conkers is the group.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah.
Why am I not a member of that group already?
I don't know, Brian. What can I say?
I don't know either.
You know where your support is, Terry.
Oh,
Stuart,
Steve.
good to see you, mate. I hope you're feeling a bit better tomorrow. Take it easy.
See you later, Stuart. Thanks for coming over, mate. And I will be in touch about getting you on again, Stuart. Right, so we just need to respray that bit black. So I'm going to put some tape over our iridescent so we don't get black ebonizer lacquer over that. Actually, 2-inch tape would be better, I suppose. So we just tape that line up.
Cool.
So what we're just doing there.
Oh, your pictures went all pixelated.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Did it?
But, yeah.
Oh, right. Right, so just quickly while I'm doing this, obviously you guys went above and beyond last year for the makers auction that we did, and we said we'd be back doing another one. So we've decided that we're going to do it for, I can't remember what we said we was going to do it for. Alzheimer's, wasn't it? Dementia.
A dementia charity, yep.
Yeah, we're going
Dementia
to do
UK, I think.
Yeah, we're going to do it for Dementia UK. So I'm going to revamp the Facebook page, and then at the end of this month, I will relaunch the Facebook page, and we're going to then do it in November, because we know things are hard for people this year due to the economy and everything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it away from Christmas this year, and we're going to do it in November. So it gives people more time to obviously get sorted for Christmas. And also the other thing is that if people want to buy stuff of some of the donated stuff for Christmas presents, then it should get to them before obviously Christmas gets here. So keep your eye open for that. So all the people who subscribe to the Facebook page, that will be coming out at the end of the month.
It does my internet, guys. The picture is now cleared again. So my son's upstairs, so he's maybe gaming or something. I don't know, sucking up the Wi-Fi or the bandwidth, whatever it's called these days.
Right, let's just gently
Because
spray
I live
that.
out in the country, so it's pretty slow internet anyway, most of the time. Yeah, the Woodwork Learner says, that suits me, Steve. My dad passed away due to dementia, so I will support that.
Yeah, it's
I
dementia.
think almost everybody in the country will know somebody who's had dementia.
Yeah, dementia's close to my heart because my nan suffered with dementia, and
Yep.
it's a hard. The good thing is they don't know. The person who suffers with it doesn't realise what's going on, which is the good thing. That's all I can say is,
Yep.
because it's a very nasty disease, very nasty. Right.
It is. My stepfather went the same way.
I mean, when you go and see the people you love and they don't realise who you are, or you know, I mean, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
No fun.
But all we can do is try and help others. So yeah, that'd be good.
Stuart Rooney's looking forward to it, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Stuart.
That'll be good.
I must say,
The hobby turner, Steve. The hobby turner says I'm not in here as much now due to his mum having it.
oh, well, I feel so. My thoughts with you, mate.
It's a shame, buddy.
Yeah, my thoughts go with you.
All our thoughts are with you, sure.
Like I say, the only good thing about it is the person actually who suffers with it doesn't realise what's going on. So,
So has anybody else out there got another question for Terry before we wind this up? We'll be finishing shortly, I would think. You must have more questions for Terry.
Terry's gone quiet. He must have done a runner.
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
You're still here.
Yeah, we're just watching the chat going through and listening to what's going on, watching what you're up to as well, Steve. So it's looking good. Everyone else is busy sitting there thinking, what can we ask? What can we talk about?
Yeah. Hello.
So you've quite a large range of products now, Terry, haven't you?
Yeah, it's expanded amazingly over the years. I started off with about 6 products, and we just added sort of more and more in waves as you know, as we got more of a feeling for what people wanted. And sorry, just reading that. And yeah, it has grown totally out of from what it started out as. I mean, it started out because it was with me running around in a mini metro van and selling stuff out the back of the van. So
Del Boy, a bit like Del Boy.
Del Boy.
A little Del Boyish, yeah. We're back to that one again. Yeah, it was, and it worked really well. Got the name around and stuff, and people got to know and like the product, and it's just changed ever since then.
See that from Benjamin there?
Yeah. Let's get would do. Stephen, why does the black CA take so long to harden? It's because it is the black. It's got some black rubber in there, so that will slow it down. So that's why it takes a little bit longer. Do we do a flexible CA glue? No, we don't. We just do the normal standard ones. But we will look at that certainly. Benjamin, yeah, will we be doing some more videos? Yeah, our video guys are coming to see me next week, funnily enough, and talk about stuff. So yeah, feel free to tell me what videos you want. We've got quite a lot on the website. Most of the products have their own video now, and we've got the longer video showing the main products. But yeah, if you've got some suggestions for me on videos that you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll fluff as many lines as I can in front of the camera doing them. So
good blooper reels coming.
I have got a really good one. The guys put one together for me, and it's quite embarrassing, really. I love working with them. They're great fun. They really, hopefully it shows with the videos that we put a lot of time and effort into them. And I love the way they edit them together and the way they come up with them. But yeah, it just always takes so long to. We do a 15-minute video, and it takes most of the day to get enough
Yep.
footage for it. It's a real eye.
Takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, but well worth it. Well worth it.
Oh, that's a nice piece, Steve.
So there you go.
That was good, Steve.
I think if I had, like you said, if I had the lacquer over the top, these would pop. They'd
Yeah.
come more alive. But you can see, if you move it, you can see the iridescent part of them. So,
Yeah.
but like Terry said,
Jarvis says he works supporting those that suffer with dementia.
yeah,
Good man, Keith.
very much so. So, like Terry said, if you was to put a lacquer over the top of it, that would pop these colours. You can see the iridescent if you hold them into light. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see the iridescent.
You can a bit see it. It's
Yeah.
coming through on.
And what I find with some of these iridescents is, if you want that more cerise colour, then go over and put a little bit more over the top of it to get the depth of the colour. So yeah, just a little piece, like I say, inspired by a guy or a piece I saw at the club. So yeah.
Stephen suggests that I think a black and white crackle paint effect would make a great video. I'm available.
Steve, we'll talk. We will talk.
Yeah, Stephen doing a video would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Interesting idea.
I've been nagging at him for months to try and get him to do a video, but he's not biting.
All right. So has anybody else got any questions for Terry before we kill it on the head?
Kind of deafening quiet. That's fine. I hope it's been.
You've answered lots of questions as we went along, Terry, I have to say.
Well, I hope it's been helpful for people.
Very.
We're really interested in getting people, to use the products, as well as they can, and to get the best out of them. So, do feel free to have a look around the website. Loads of information on there. There are a number of YouTube videos both there and on our YouTube channel. And one of the best things, I think, on our website, on the front page of the website, there's a download of our compatibility chart, which tells you which products go with which and which order to use them in. So definitely, if you haven't got a copy of that yet, download it and print it out. Absolutely free. We do a nice big laminated version of it if you want one, but you download it for free, and it should be your reference guide, should be your Bible on what goes with what. So yeah, definitely, if nothing else, go get one of those.
Oh, look, mine hasn't been read yet, Terry. Have you a funnel filter finish for Steve? Ha 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 ha.
That's true, of course. I mean, yeah.
Hey, I haven't done a funnel for ages. Be fair.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to do one Sunday just for you.
Right,
let's bring you guys back.
That'll be interesting then. Want this in colour now, don't I?
Ah, right. Andy's trying to cause trouble. Look.
Andy's always trying to cause trouble. Andy's just the proverbial troublemaker.
Can't believe that. Terry, will you be watching Steve and Brian's live to see if they use your products?
Yeah, no.
Troublemaker. Terry knows I always use his products.
I use them too.
They're good products. They are good products. I must admit, between Chestnut, Hampshire Sheen, I know there's a lot of other companies out there as well, but to be honest, I've not tried any other companies because Hampshire Sheen and Chestnut are always the ones I've always used. So you stick with what you use, don't you? What you know.
You stick with what works, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It's we do put a lot of work into it to make sure that it's hang on, sorry. I shouldn't try and read questions while I'm talking because it distracts.
Not really. You get confused that way.
Yeah. We put a lot of work into it just to make sure that that's what it's supposed to do, really. Yeah. Cheapest sword stabilizer. I think that's supposed to be wood stabilizer. Yeah. Okay. Something we could look at. Yeah.
Is that?
Definitely.
Do they mean something that you'd put in a vacuum chamber, or do they mean something?
I don't know. Just the name cactus juice puts me off. Quite honestly, I lose interest with. Why is everything got to be something juice now? It's just such.
And the thing
I
is,
don't know.
and the thing is with that cactus juice, it's so blooming expensive.
Yeah, I think that was the point there. Benjamin, send me some details on it, and we'll have a look at it for sure.
I mean, I've had a vacuum chamber for months, but I'm just not prepared to spend nearly 250 quid on cactus juice to stabilise some wood. It's ridiculous amount. It's a ridiculous amount of money.
Okay.
There's my dogs barking.
Yeah, don't know a lot about it, but we can. It's not too far removed from what we do, so we can always have a look at it and see if we can come up with something.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who use it for stabilising like punky wood, like this piece I had here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a beautiful piece of wood, but because it was so soft, you couldn't do a lot with it. So what I did in the end, I drilled down. Have you ever heard of Ron Seal wet rot? It's a wet rot preserver that we use for windows. So what I did is I just drilled loads of holes in it and I just let it pour into that. Now is rock hard inside, so I can now finish it off. And I mean, something like that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a cellulose sanding sealer, a thin cellulose sanding sealer, and we're not going to get into that one. But if you thin the sanding sealer, it will soak in, and that will act as a wood hardness stroke stabilizer, and that will make a lot of difference and make the timber easier to turn for sure. So that's always an option. Slower, but yeah, it will do the job.
I think we're there. I think we've got all the questions answered.
Mm-hmm. Like it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, some interesting suggestions and ideas as well. So thank you for that. I've enjoyed myself tonight. It's been great chatting online to various people in different ways. So yeah, okay, she said that's why I was right. Okay. Yeah. So some interesting ideas. Some people to contact me hopefully with some other information, and we'll take it from there.
Good. So did you put your link in for the Weekender, mate?
Yeah, the link went in earlier.
I'll check in again.
So
just in case.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can type. It's nice and easy, just woodturningweekender.co.uk. There we go. Yeah, so woodturningweekender.co.uk, all the information's on there, tickets as well. So yeah, it tells you everything pretty much that you need to know about it. So do go and have a look, please.
Right, and guys, I think we're there. Thank you very much for all your questions. A massive thank you to you, Terry, for coming over and answering them.
Indeed.
Thanks for inviting me. It's been fun. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but really have enjoyed it. It's been a lot of laughs. So yeah, thank you. Thank you to everyone for all the questions as well, for keeping me on my toes and for keeping it flowing. It's been good fun.
Good. That's what it's all about. Main thing is having fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Most important.
It is. Right, and guys, so thank you very much for coming over and joining us. And again, as I said before, massive thank you to Terry and Brian for being my Earworms. Hope you've enjoyed the project. Only a small project tonight, because as you know, being special guest Earworm, it's all about the special guest. So hopefully Terry has answered your questions. And like he said, if you've got any ideas for products or any questions on any of his products, then email him and he will be really helpful. I'm sure he will, because he always is. That's the way he is. Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. So I will be back Sunday with the carrot chopper.
Carrot chopper is Mickey, his wife, by the way. My
wife is my Earworm on a Sunday, and everybody comes. It's actually the Nikki show, you see, Terry, but I'm just the guy in the background. So, right. So we'll be back.
That's the way.
Yeah, you're right there. So we'll be back Sunday with the lace bobbin. your lace bobbin montage video. Thanks to everybody who sent in some pictures. If you haven't already sent your pictures in and you want to get them in to me, get them in today, because after today I will be doing the video ready for Sunday lunchtime live. So hopefully you won't miss the deadline. So other than that, I'm going to say goodnight. These guys are going to say goodnight.
Good night.
No, thank you very much. It's been fun.
I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye for now. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye,
Cheerio,
everybody.
Cheers, Brian.
That's all, folks.
Live, I'd have like an outro and stuff like that.